The scent of barbecued hamburgers fills our kitchen on a regular weeknight. Dishes clink against the metal sink as the kids clean up, a familiar symphony of our evening routine. Water runs, steam rises, kids argue. In the dining room, I sit tall at my laptop, reviewing our shared credit card statement with steady eyes. My husband's familiar footsteps approach, and I feel his presence before his shadow falls across my screen. "Can you cover it?" he asks. Three simple words, yet they land with the weight of a boulder. The question echoes through our carefully constructed world. Just months earlier, he had left his steady sales job to pursue building his own company. Our financial landscape transformed overnight. No more comfortable safety net, no more guaranteed paycheck from our family's breadwinner. As I log into my account, the cursor blinks expectantly, and resentment bubbles up. I'd never needed to cover the bill before. Now this pressure to provide feels like a burden too heavy to bear. My fingers hover above the keyboard like a plane unable to land. I'm afraid to check my balance. What if I don't have enough? What if I spent too much? Would he be disappointed if I hadn't planned appropriately? As the bank's login page loads with agonizing slowness, my heart races and a pit grows in my stomach. But this moment of uncertainty has deeper roots that stretch back 3 years to when I first planted a seed of possibility. Back then, I was emerging from my own physical transformation, having lost 40 pounds of weight. I gained something invaluable from the experience. I reclaimed my identity. The process was more than just shedding pounds. I had shed something else, the feeling of being lost, of not knowing who I was anymore, of having no confidence, and of wanting desperately to feel sexy again in my body. Through the discipline of proper nutrition and the empowerment of lifting weights, I didn't just reclaim control of my body. I reclaimed my identity. The labels that once defined me, wife, mother, sister, daughter, teacher, became aspects of who I am, not limitations of who I could be. I stepped into my power, owned my sexy, and realized that my worth was never dependent on external validation. That personal metamorphosis sparked a vision that burned bright and clear. I could guide other women in their own awakening. My online fitness and nutrition coaching business began as a simple idea, but it evolved into something far more profound, a testament to the power of personal reinvention. With each client's success story, I witnessed women redefining themselves, taking back control of their lives in ways that went far beyond physical transformation. Now, as my screen illuminates with my account balance, I feel not anxiety, but anticipation. The numbers confirm what I already knew in my heart. Not only can I cover the bill, but my business has flourished into something remarkable. That initial seed of possibility has grown into a mighty oak, its branches reaching far beyond my initial dreams, its roots anchored in determination and purpose. When my husband asked if I could cover the bill, it wasn't just about money. It was about mutual support, about equal partnership, about the beauty of two people believing in each other's dreams. The answer resonates through me with certainty. Absolutely, yes. Pride, joy, and gratitude surge through me. Each emotion a testament to every challenge faced, every fear conquered, every limiting belief shattered. Here in our dining room, illuminated by more than just my screen's glow, I recognize that my transformation has created ripples far beyond myself. I'm not just contributing financially, I'm showing our children what's possible when you believe in yourself and dare to dream bigger. This moment isn't about proving my worth, it's about celebrating it. It's about recognizing that every step of this journey, from those first uncertain workouts to building a thriving business, has been a declaration of my own power. As I complete the payment, my smile reflects not just satisfaction, but the quiet confidence of a woman who knows her true value and lives it every day. In the end, this was never about covering a bill. It was about uncovering strength, about building bridges between who we are and who we dare to become, about the magnificent power of believing in yourself and watching that belief transform not just your own life, but the lives of countless others. As the confirmation appears on my screen, I know this is just another milestone on an endless journey of growth, of impact, of becoming even more fully myself.
Thank you. You almost made me cry.
When I looked up at you, I almost shed.
Shit.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Maybe we can get you there.
Okay.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm proud of you because I've known you for a really long time. And I think that is significant to just, I mean, there's so much in that story of like the becoming journey of finding yourself again. But I think the money piece is something that a lot of people don't talk about from a deeper perspective, because culturally it's make more money, get more money, do the things is kind of like weight loss, lose the weight. What did that moment mean for you when he asked for help?
So I'm not the breadwinner. And I've never had to necessarily pay for a lot of things. Like, we definitely share stuff. But that moment it felt very much like a lot of pressure. But in knowing that I was able to help float us for a time that we really needed it, was a sense of like freedom and a sense of like, wow, I can do this. I don't have to rely on a man or somebody else to make me feel financially secure. And, it's not that I was brought up that way necessarily, but it's just maybe ingrained socially that, you get married, you take care of the kids and the home, and your husband will provide, and you can contribute. Like I contribute, I'm a teacher, but it doesn't have to be that way, and it was just like a real sense of freedom.
Did you have that conversation with your husband of like what that moment meant to you? Are you going to read him the story?
Yeah, I'll have him listen to this podcast.
But will you read it to him?
Oh, maybe I should. I never thought about it.
Yeah. You're like, okay, that's a challenge.
Yeah, it is a challenge. I have said to him that I'm very proud of myself, right? I would have never thought that I would have been able to do something like this. Like alone on my teaching salary, no. But even if somebody asked me, 4 years ago, do you think that you would be coaching other women or helping women feel better about themselves and their bodies, or have a podcast? I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, who are you talking about? That's not me.
I think too often everyone looks outside and they think, oh my God, that's just the trendy thing to do. The trendy thing to do is to have a podcast, to, do the thing, to build the thing. I know that's not for me because the conversations, I've been doing this for a really, really long time, but there's a deeper why, deeper knowing, and a deeper calling. And I'm assuming for you, there has to be something deeper than just being able to flip the credit card bill or make side money. So like, what is that deeper, like why venture out and decide to build this and to give, like, to teach other women to do that?
Yeah, I think it's twofold. Like, it started as a needing and wanting a sense of freedom, like financially wanting to be able to do things with my kids or maybe travel more without feeling like confined. But feeling the way that I do now after, 3 pregnancies, not seeing the way that I didn't like the way that I looked, didn't like the way that I felt, hiding behind my clothes, and then coming out of it on the other side and realizing it doesn't have to be that way. Women don't have to feel like they have to hide, that they can be sexy again, feel sexy again, feel empowered in that way, because it's an empowering feeling. And I want other people to feel that way because it feels really good, to be on the other side of that. I mean, it's not every day, but for the most part, the confidence that comes with feeling confident in your body, feeling strong, like that gift I can give to other people is like really valuable to me. Just even being a teacher, right? What I can teach my students and my children at the same time.
Yeah. I know that there's like a lot of there's so many different ways that we can take this. And I want to go to the confidence piece because that everyone says, I want to feel confident. I want to feel confident, right? I'm sure you hear it all the time. I just want to be more confident. I want to lose weight, want to feel
Yeah.
better in my skin. But it's one thing to say it. It's another thing to take the action to become it. So for whatever reason, there's this like disconnect in our brain of like, I want that. I know what I want. But then you have to commit and you have to recommit and you have to recommit and recommit and recommit. I'm curious what your experience, your personal experience has been to like talking about like the becoming journey, but also the women that you work with.
Yeah, it's about like really redefining who you are and what you do every single day, like your habit. So I am always questioning. Like if you were to sit inside my mind, you would think I was a crazy person because I'm always questioning things that I'm doing, why I'm doing them, because I'm 46.
Are you like,
It's like I forget.
are you sure?
Yes, I'll be 47 in
Okay.
July.
Okay.
I'm 46, but for 46 years, or even before I started this, 44 years, 43 years, I had a way of doing things and showing up in the world and being with family, being with friends. And I had to change that if I wanted to see results. I couldn't show up in the same way. I couldn't attend functions in the same way. And I had to look at my life differently because if you want things to change, you have to change. It's not like a short-term change, it's a long-term forever change.
Right.
So I'm always questioning why I'm making decisions in my food choices, in my workouts, in my friendships, and just in every decision that I make. And it can be exhausting.
Yeah.
Right? But I've proven to myself, like through working with you, through working with my own coach, that small incremental changes over time, although they don't seem significant, when you look back, you're like, wow, the boring work actually works.
Yeah.
Like that boring, mundane, chop wood, carry water kind of thing works.
Yeah.
And you don't see it and it's hard. That's why, like, for me, accountability was huge because you doubt yourself through the uncomfortableness and you want to stop because you're like, I don't see the changes. What's happening? But then you have someone in your corner saying, just keep going, trust the process.
Yeah.
It will come.
Did you have a moment? I know it's different journeys. Did you have a moment where you wanted to quit? And what that was like? Because you specifically, I'm going to talk about your current journey through macros and lifting per se, like
Training,
yeah, strength training. What I often see is people have had a fitness background, whether they were doing CrossFit or whatever they were doing, and then deciding to shift the lifestyle. So what was the biggest challenge for you?
I would say socially.
Okay.
Yeah, socially and what fun meant, right? Like defining fun. So, it was easy to recover and bounce back from fun evenings, social outings, like when I was younger, like 20s, 30s even, alcohol, all those things. So I think the biggest challenge was for me was holding my own and believing in like boundaries. So, and that comes like down to decisions socially, like drinking or, how much you're eating or grazing and things like that. It was very uncomfortable for other people when I stepped back from alcohol and I stepped back from certain things because it was a change in the way I was showing up for them. So that was really hard for me because I was realizing that I was doing things to appease others so that it made them less uncomfortable and me more comfortable because I didn't have to like explain why I wasn't doing thing or back it up versus just saying, nope, I'm not having a glass and that's it, right? And now I'm at that place where it's like, no, I'm going to have a Diet Coke. well, actually Coke Zero, but I'm going to have something that I actually enjoy.
Yeah.
And I don't really enjoy alcohol. And it's not that I don't drink,
Hmm.
but I'm finding value in having fun without it. And like how much fun can I be without
Yeah.
being drunk or being a little tipsy?
Yeah.
And that's a challenge in itself. And
Hmm.
I'm finding that it's a lot of fun actually.
I find it interesting. So I'm always like, how do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? And people will say, alive, energized, excited, nourished. And then it's like, okay, well, we have to align our behaviors and actions with that. But what I'm hearing you say is you have to change your identity.
Hmm.
It's not like saying, I have to redefine what fun is. And I'm curious your experience. But when you really think about it, typically, and I'm just using alcohol as an example, but insert anything else,
Hmm.
you start people pleasing through certain areas early on in your life. So a decade goes, 2 decades go, and you're like, who am I? Well,
Hmm.
this is what everyone else does.
Hmm.
So it's going to, by nature, get worse before it gets better
Yeah.
because you're in that messy middle on the bridge of going from this person to this person
Hmm.
to know, who am I?
Hmm.
Like you're actually, so it has nothing to do with food. It has nothing to do with alcohol or starting the habit of going to the gym or walking or doing whatever you're doing. You're like, it's so hard for people because you are literally becoming a different version
Yeah.
of yourself or unlearning.
Yeah, it's like the thing, like alcohol or food or whatever. It's
Yeah.
just the thing. Um, but it's just questioning why you're doing things. And when you say you can't or that's just the way I am, it's
Hmm.
like, is that true? Is that really how
Hmm.
you need to show up? And it's even like family functions, I'm now the last person to get food, and I'm here to connect with people versus, the food's part of it, it's part of the celebration. But I used to always have this like lack mindset, like I need to be the first in line, I need to get all the things.
Hmm.
And I don't know if that was like part of like growing up or whatever, but now it's like I take a step back. I'm here for connection. I'm here to engage, and food is secondary on this list.
Yeah.
Um, and I just try to show up differently in where I'm going in terms of like defining fun. Like, why am I attending this function? What is the purpose of it?
Hmm.
And going in with an intention that I've set for myself versus like whatever happens, happens.
It's like intentional living. You're asking yourself, how do I want to feel?
Hmm.
And then probably 1 million times a day.
1 million times a day.
1 million times.
Yeah. 1 million times a day.
1 million.
Million
It is
times.
exhausting to be intentional, to
But
live an intentional life.
it is. But
But go ahead.
I don't want I don't want to be on the other side.
Right.
Right. So we're just having this conversation today. Yeah, it would be easy to be like, oh, I can eat whatever I want
Hmm.
and like nothing will change. I'm just not that person. I can't.
Right.
And do I indulge in things? Absolutely.
Hmm.
But I don't do it all the time because I don't like the way I feel after,
Right.
and little things will creep up on you if you're just not aware and intentional every single day.
Hmm. So let's, okay, as you're talking, what I'm hearing is freedom. And I always tell people a well resourced woman is going to, like, this is what is going to change the world: money,
Mhm.
time, and energy.
Mhm.
When she's well resourced, she's full. And then she has the patience, determination, resource, capacity to impact and influence everyone else. Um, it's not just about making more money.
Mm-mm.
It's not just about um, clearing your schedule. It's not just about taking supplements or having more quote unquote energy, physical energy.
Mhm.
I'm curious, your experience working with me, what you have learned along the journey that maybe has manifested through your physical health journey,
Mhm.
but what has been surprising to you about living in alignment with how you want to feel.
It comes down to like what we have control over and what we don't have control over. I think
Mhm.
when I first started working with you, um, I was trying to control everything. I wanted things to go a certain way, and I was trying to um, control things that I just had no business controlling, and I was never going to be able to. So I had to focus in on what I can control in my own life, in
Mhm.
myself, which then, you know, trickles into every aspect of your life. So going back to intentionality and planning and how do I want to feel? I want to feel free. I want to feel connected. Well, what does that look like in all areas of my life? Like in relationships with my children, with my husband, with my family, at work, with myself, with money. So when you start to really look at it that way, then you can plan again, be intentional, make choices for yourself
Mhm.
about feeling that way more and more every single day. So in working with you, I was able to really rein in like my emotional roller coaster, right? My
Mhm.
emotions were dependent on so many other factors other than me. And now I'm able to say I can control how I feel based on the stories I tell myself and being able to discern that they are stories,
Mhm.
just a reflection or perception that I have. And I can flip the script anytime that I want and see it in a different way
Yeah.
and see other people's reaction to me in a different way altogether. When I first started this, coaching, I was posting online. It's like, oh, what's that person going to think of me? Like, and it was
Right.
actually like particular people.
Mhm.
Um, and now it's like they're going to think what they're going to think.
Right.
What is my purpose? And as long as I'm authentic and it's the intent is to educate and to, showcase what it is that I want to help with,
Mhm.
that's all that really matters in the end. Yeah.
What has been surprising to you about the people that you thought were going to stop you? So, example, people will start a journey and saying, and then stop because the disruption of their marriage or their, like, we started this conversation reading a story about how your husband is like, can you get this? Can you flip this script?
Yeah.
Flip the script. Can you flip this bill this month?
Yeah.
And did you have any touch points in your relationship where you were like where he was uncomfortable with your growth?
Yeah, I would say at the beginning when I was creating space for my workouts and like leaving the family
Mhm.
for like an hour and a half,
Mhm.
um, I remember specifically like when our kids were little. So I started this, creeping into the space of my own transformation when my daughter was like 2 or 3. And I would leave on Saturday mornings to go to a gym class.
Mhm.
And he never said no, but it was always like, don't you want to stay at home in bed with the kids and cuddle? They're only young once. Like,
Mhm.
and I always felt so guilty because I was leaving. But then I just kept doing it. I'm like, nope, this is what I want. This is what I want. And then I came to realize like that was something that it was important to him. And he was like, what's the word? Like reflecting it,
Projecting. Yeah.
projecting onto me. And he wasn't saying, you're a bad mother, you're not here for the children. He was just like, this is amazing. You should experience it. And I was like, well, I'm experiencing it with them in different ways. And I'm showing them
Mhm.
that it's okay to be absent for a little bit and come back, or I'm showing them that it's okay to take care of yourself and then come back. So
Mhm.
I don't know if that was resistance on his end, like trying to get me to like pull back.
Mhm.
But now it's like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
Like mommy's at the gym or my wife's at the gym or she's doing this. And there's no question like that took too long.
Mhm.
Why aren't you back now? That kind of thing. And I think the more you just keep pushing lightly, like not like this is what I'm doing. I don't care what you think,
Right.
but just like, no,
You
explaining.
question.
Right.
You're like,
Right.
okay, is this I'm curious. It sounds like that triggered
Yeah,
you.
exactly.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah,
Like, you don't just completely give in to, I'm not allowed to do this.
correct.
So that, because if you do, that's like a people pleaser, right? And you're pleasing. You're like, because I hear this a lot. Like, we're managing everybody else's emotions
Yes.
and expectations to the point where you feel like you've just created this prison for yourself.
Yeah.
But everyone will be like, I want to feel free. I want to feel joyful. I would say that you did previously identify as a people pleaser.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, when we
Do you-
first met, I was like people pleaser, like 101. I could write the book.
and I was like,
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah. You're
Please
like, you're a
stop.
people pleaser.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Do you identify as one now?
Less so. I
Okay.
still catch myself for sure doing it, but holding so many more boundaries.
Would you say so I think there's like the yin and the yang. There's like the healthy and then the unhealthy version, the
Mm-hmm.
shadow.
Mm-hmm.
And oh, I'm a people pleaser in this. Like everyone has a label for themselves. I'm like, it's not bad. It's not bad to be super ambitious. It's not bad to like do all these things.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad to want to do nothing. But what feels good to you?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're living in the shadow of it or the negative of it, that's where we're over nurturing, over giving, trying to control everybody
Yeah.
else. But then we just think, oh, I don't want to be too
Rock the
much.
boat.
I don't want to
Yeah.
be a burden. I don't want to rock the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so where are you at now with the journey? What is your like relationship to fear? What's your relationship to like how good can it get? How good can I feel? And that kind of like myth of when I lose the 20 pounds, then I will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's like I'm redefining that all the time, you know. Like lost the weight from pregnancy, but the journey unfolds all the time in terms of, what do I want now? Because you go through so many different seasons of life,
Mhm.
and what I thought I wanted, like what number I wanted on the scale at one point now doesn't work for me in my lifestyle because I don't want to be that restrictive, or I don't
Mhm.
want to, like, I know I can get there if I want to for like a photo shoot or something
Mhm.
that I need, but like everyday life, like I'm redefining what strength and sexy means to me.
Mhm.
And that isn't defined like by a scale number anymore, or somebody else's opinion, or needing that from somebody else.
Right.
But it's like an evolution for sure. But I feel more confident in making those decisions now than ever before.
And so if a woman's watching this and she's like, I'm ready to go through that physical transformation, would you say to her is the number one thing that she needs to prepare herself for? Because we talk a lot about diet culture and like there's a whole unlearning of that. What would you say the one thing that that she needs to prepare herself for that she might not expect if she wants to get to where she wants to go?
Yeah, I feel like that's such a loaded question because there's so much. But like, abandon the quick fix mindset. Like,
Yeah.
if you're going to work with me, I'm not promising you that you're going to lose even a pound in a month necessarily, because it's not about weight loss. It's about, I mean, it is sometimes, but it's about like what habits can you start implementing that you're not implementing that are going to get you closer to that goal, because you don't want to just lose the weight and then be like, oh, I got here, and then what happens there? You want to lose it and then be able to sustain it with the habits that you build, and that takes time because
Mhm.
you're undoing the bad habits or the habits that don't serve you
Yeah.
to create new ones, and that takes a lot of time. So I think the number one thing I am met with from most of my clients is this like resistance, like the scale hasn't moved and it's been a week and a half.
Mhm.
But okay, but you feel better, you're sleeping better, you're pooping better, like that's a win.
Mhm.
That's a really great thing. And that's really the hardest part of this, is that I don't it's just trying to help them through that. It's all mindset. It really is. And it's helping women like get through that. So just don't believe, or don't expect that quick fix.
And it's like in those moments when you're so emotionally uncomfortable, pay attention to the stories you're telling yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, oh, the sleep, the health changes, the feeling less bloated,
Mm-hmm.
and yet your brain is fixated on a
The
number.
scale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's a
exactly.
perfect example of like, are you focused on how you want to feel? Or are you focused on what's not working in your life?
Right.
Because we can go back in the past, we can ruminate about it, or we can plan a vision for the future
Yeah.
of who we need to be, how we want to feel,
Yeah.
and head in that direction.
Yeah. And it's about trusting the process. Like, and I'm not just like shouting information at you without having done it myself
Right.
over and over again. Like I've gone through multiple fat loss phases, multiple like builds. I've put on weight purposefully to build muscle. So it's like I have gone through it. I know it works. And there's been times where the scale hasn't budged for me like for a month, and I would like look up to the sky and be like, can somebody help me? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But it's more just like, maybe I'm holding on to stress. I'm holding on to something. What is it? And then, the next layer unfolds and you see what happens. So it's like, I'm in the arena with you and I can resonate. And like, that is worth it too.
I like the what else am I holding on to? Because it's not always physical weight. There's people, there's beliefs, there's thoughts, there's something that we need to let go of. So, yeah, when you're willing, it's like always have a goal or a challenge or an area of your life that you want to focus on. And once you start running towards that goal, it is always the becoming journey or the unlearning. It's never about the destination. It's always about who you became along the way.
And it's about being curious and questioning and then getting help.
Yes.
Right? Getting help and leaning on those people who help push you and nudge you a little bit in the right direction because they see that in you. So surrounding yourself, like that's what your community is about too, right? Surrounding yourself with like-minded women that push each other.
I always love that. Someone's like, I know what I need to do. I'm just not doing it. And I'm like, but you're the one doing the work. Like, just know that I can't do it for you.
Yeah.
There's the reason why the result or desire of what you want is not there. Something is blocking you and you can't see it because you're way too close to it. And so that's the whole point of why you need support. It's not about the meal plans. It's not about the workout plan. It's truly about all the invisible things that you cannot see of who you need to become.
Yeah. Anybody can look up how to calculate their macros or what workouts to do, like, in general to get started.
Yeah.
But like for that, over the hill kind of battle, you need that support and accountability. It's huge. And that's why I still have like my own coach because I thrive off of that accountability and learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can people find you? Where can they get more of you?
Well, I also have a podcast. It's called A Cup of Dree. So it's about fitness thoughts that I have on my way to and from the gym in the morning. So like 5 to 10 minutes, I'm just talking about health and fitness things that resonate with me or things that I see. And then they can also find me on Instagram at Cup of Dree. So cup.of.dri.
CUP.
CUP.
All right, that's it. Cup of Dree, CUP.
Yes.
I'm gonna CUP on
Awesome.
Instagram.